The Oneplus X had a contentious start amongst some OnePlus enthusiasts. It was such a departure in looks and marketing. It is often used as proof that the company had finally sold out. In spite of this, the X managed to carve out a unique little niche in the hearts of fans like me. Build and feel. I got my X well into its product cycle, and had mild expectations for it. After all, at this point there were so many worthy competitors in the $200-ish range. But when you pick up the Oneplus X for the first time, you can't help but be impressed. There is a reassuring density to the phone, and while in hand, the finely detailed microcuts along its outer aluminum frame assure you there is no way it will easily slip from your grasp. It's functional eye candy. The glass on both the front and back perfectly tucks into the frame's edge with a gentle curve. The glass, however, is extremely slippery. Never leave the phone unattended on an elevated surface, or it may make a break for it. The buttons are quite tactile, and the signature alert slider is satisfyingly solid. In all the times it went in and out of my pocket, there was never a time I accidentally moved it. It's just another testament to the build quality that still outshines a lot of recent phones in and above its price range. Where it somewhat lacks physically is in waterproofing and ingress protection, but as long as one isn't actively trying to destroy it, hey Zach, it's quite durable.
Display. The 5-inch AMOLED display is one of the stronger aspects of this phone. At 1080p, it is capable of fantastic levels of detail in addition to the rich color and contrast AMOLED is famous for. The brightness does leave a bit to be desired under the Zimbabwean sun, but not to the point of being unusable. Also of note is the twitchy auto brightness control. It is aggressively jumpy to the point where I just leave it off all the time.
Software. Aside from the internal hardware, software is perhaps the greatest tell for the OnePlus X's age and unsupported status in 2018. That's not to say using it is a terrible experience. My phone is running the latest update OxygenOS 3rd January 2004 and it still acquits itself quite well. The built-in apps and UI are quite stable with very rare stutters, while all major apps are still available for it. I think the word capable would best characterize it. It is far from the worst performer out there, and it's a shame really, as I feel some of the new features Android has been rolling out would benefit the OnePlus X greatly. The fact that the phone has a lot more potential with new software has spawned an active roam scene for the X. If you are a tinkerer, that could be a great draw for you.
Camera. The OnePlus X is a phone that was designed to look and feel premium, while being incredibly affordable. One of the places that showed this budget aspect even when newly launched was the camera. At 13 megapixels, the main camera certainly isn't a disaster by any means, but it does fall behind its big brother, the OnePlus 2, and definitely a lot of the current top budget phones available now. Experimenting with different camera apps did give me some good results though. I'm not really one for selfies, so I can't give a real opinion, but I think it was better than average, bringing an 8-megapixel sensor to the table when a lot of its contemporaries had less.
Summary. I got my phone at a point where it had been in inventory since at least 2016, the year production stopped, and used it outside its designated market, so there are some things I chose not to focus on in too much detail. The battery life was okay, but I can't speak to how it compared to a fresh out the factory unit. Connectivity was great, but it never got to stretch its LTE legs in my country, because it was the US banned version. Performance was good, but as old apps updated and new apps came out, it put noticeable pressure on the hardware. In spite of all this, I think the OnePlus X was a great phone for $250, and an even better one for me at $200 at the time I bought it, especially in the Zimbabwean market. For those brave enough to delve into custom ROMs, it is a rewarding platform, and for those like me looking for a device to reliably handle normal day-to-day functions with panache, it still has enough kick in it to see me through for a while yet.